Hello everyone, welcome back to the latest update series of Drishti. This is Divya Kawatra, and today we meet to discuss a very important, very hyped topic, that is Trump's visit to China, Trump's Beijing visit, which has been constantly in news and everybody is talking about it. Let's find out, why is it so important? What is the big deal about it? Okay. So first of all, let's understand what this visit signifies. Why is it so important that at this time they're visiting? Number one thing that we need to understand about this Trump visit is that the recent visit specifies how the important relations between China and US are getting signified here. Why? Because the number one thing is it is happening during the war times. Yeah, during the war times, especially when everybody is, playing the tariff game. Yes, we are playing the tariff game, and amidst that, this meeting has come. Why? Because their reconciliation is very necessary, because it is impacting the global economy. Yes, it is impacting the global economy, and rest of the world is looking at it. Since US and China are one of the largest economies of the world, they really need to come together and find a solution of their distrust. Yes, find a solution of all the differences that they have been facing so far. Right. Now to do that, what is happening? They're meeting. Okay, they're meeting for a summit. And this delegation is not just, simple. Why? Because Trump hasn't come alone. He has come up with many of other representatives like Elon Musk, Tim Cook. Yes. Yes, they have also tagged along Trump. Why? Because they're coming as a force of technology. Because even US knows that China is a very huge power today and we cannot take them lightly. But US has its own power, China has its own power. They need to work on their own arenas while at the same time all together working on their problems. Right? So that is what the summit is about. The visit that has happened on May 13. Yes, amidst US-Israel war, Trump is visiting Beijing, taking steps so that we can take control of the rare earth metals, especially that are lying in China. Since China holds 91% of world's rare earth metals, they have a dominance there. So a lot of other things are also on the agenda. What kind of agenda are they looking at? Just understand. The relevance here, first of all, is that they're trying to avoid a trade war. Both of them had been playing the tariff game and both of them were suffering. Both of their economies were suffering because of this. So they've decided that, okay, let's settle this down. Let's come together and finally find a middle ground where we can end this tariff war so our economy stops suffering. Okay, the first thing. The second thing is they want to solve inflation because of the war, because of the tariff game. Everything is aligned together and everybody knows El Nino is going to hit this year. El Nino is going to hit this year, and with that the inflation is spiking everywhere. So they're preparing beforehand and they want that this inflation should now go down, at least because of other factors, right? At least because of other factors, we take that control, especially on everyday goods. The factor is here that everyday goods are getting inflated now, and that's why we need to focus on this. Then obviously there is global stability, because when they both disagree, the economy of entire world is impacted. The stock market of entire world is impacted. It is not just their economies, but the economies of all the other nations, whoever hold a stake here and where they hold a stake. Every economy gets impacted because of their rivalry. So let's put a stop to that, right? That is the relevance of the meeting. However, the agenda here is to simplify the agenda, to basically understand the agenda. They're competing priorities with 5 B's and 3 T's. What is the concept of 5B and 3T? The Washington 5 B's are Boeing Aircraft, Beef, Beans, and Board of Trade and Board of Investment. The 3 T's, all of these are, trying to stabilize the non-sensitive sectors. Beijing's 3 T's are Taiwan issue, tariff issue, and technology issue. Okay. Why? Because US has technology. US has advanced tech. No wonder they've brought Tim Cook and Elon Musk, right? Yeah, that's why they brought that, demonstrating that we are tech advanced. We have better AI, we have better software complexities. While at the same time, China, with the three T's, Taiwan, tariff and technology, that's what they want. And from US, what are they going to get? Because China is also dominant. China has rare earth metals. Yes, China has rare earth metals. They have been providing the world with batteries forever and ever. And China has manpower. China has manpower that can physically produce anything and everything in a very, very, very large quantity. That is their strength. And both of them are coming with their strongest pursuit to put forward the ideas of collaboration. Yes, this is the 5 B's and 3 T's. Do you understand that? All right. Let's for once compare what US and China hold. Okay. For comparison, let's see what is the position and stake of US and China, right? Both of them have a stake, and in a newspaper also you must have seen the entire data driven articles that are being run around. Just let's take a comparison. Okay. First of all, in terms of nominal GDP, US has 31.82 trillion, while China has 20.65 trillion. You see the difference? Okay. But, just save this. GDP with per capita. If we talk about PPP, the GDP is 31.82 trillion, but there it is 43.49. And not just now, China has been leading in this segment since 2014. Military spending, if we talk about, they spend 954 billion. Yes. And here we have 336 billion. 336 billion. Defense as a percentage, 3.1%, 1.3%. The large scale difference. The large scale difference that comes because of technology. That comes because of technology. Yeah. Next we have foreign reserves. Foreign reserves, one of the most important thing, one of the most important, because they have 242 billion and they have 3.34 trillion. This is not just the digit difference, this is billion and trillion. Just mark that this is world's largest foreign reserve. That is why China is comparatively much more stable, regardless of the size of the economy. It is much more stable and emerging as a better stable alternative as a world leader for US. That is why US is threatened. Right? Because of this, they're able to stand up as a stable party. They don't have to worry about their own economy sinking down because they have already a very strong buffer zone. Very strong buffer zone, right? This is the most important thing. Gold reserve, if we talk about 8133 ton, basically undisputed leader. Everybody knows that. 2264 tons, they are rising powerhouse, but no, not even close. Okay. Research and development spending, they're spending 781.8 billion, while China 785. So close. Yes. Global export share, declining in electronic and minerals, dominant in vehicle exports, 13% higher. 13% higher. What do you understand from this data? What do you understand is that two things you need to understand. Two things. Number one, China may be slow at growth with respect to nominal GDP, with respect to technology, but their stability is far higher than US and their per capita income is differentiated. How it is differentiated? Just try to understand what is happening here. Right. China has a large scale population. That's why their overall GDP, overall growth of the nation is higher. However, US has less population. Yes, less population, but their per capita income is very higher. Their per person contribution is very high. Because of that, US is leading. Because of that, US is leading with the difference, large scale difference in their economies. Still, US is able to find a lead here. Okay. Why is that? Because of this overall difference. Now, what they want to do is, since China has the power of production, because of this large scale population, they have a power of production, while US has the power of technology. US has the power of technology, right? They have the power of mineral, they have the power of mineral, they have the power of mind, right? That is manpower, man skill. Okay. If they come together, just imagine if they come together, what cannot they produce? What cannot they produce? That's why they're saying that you bring your labor and productivity, we will have market shifts. We will shift the entire markets. Yes. So the collaboration is about bringing these qualities together to create something new. Yes, to stabilize their own relations, to stabilize the international platforms, and amidst that create something larger for themselves. Yeah, they can create a large scale global influence, cannot? Yes, exactly. That's what they're trying to do. That's what they're trying to do. And in terms of purchasing power also, no doubt US is at lead. No doubt US is at lead because China's economy is larger than US's economy. That's why we generally call China what? Words factory. What do we call China? Words factory, because they can produce anything with their labor. Yes, exactly. This is the difference between their existence. If you see GDP comparison, no doubt China is leading. No doubt China is leading currently. And if you see US mark, very low. But when you come to GDP per capita, per person's contribution to the economy, you will be able to see that this is where the whole world and China lies, and this is where US alone lies. You see the difference? That's the difference. Every single individual is contributing to their economy. That is how they're growing. And in comparison to the rest of the world and China, no comparison. No comparison. Clearly no comparison. Right? So overall, if we talk about the difference between China and US's economy and thinking who will become a power, whether China will overgrow US's economy, just see the difference. Main strength for US is innovation, finance, software. That's where it lies. For China, it is manufacturing, infrastructure, and green technology because of rare earth metals. Currency, dollar, global standard, yuan, it is a growing influence, but not yet there. If we talk about global role, there are largest consumer market. In China, largest producer and exporter. So they have an edge there, right? They have an edge there being the producer and exporter. Right now, their goal is to protect the tech secrets. And for China, it is to expand global trade and secure their resources. So just understand, can you see defense here and aggression here? Just by these points, can you see defense and aggression? They are playing defensive, they are going aggressive. They want to grow, they want to expand, they want to preserve what they have. Save their secrets, save their trade, save their consumerism, save their existing power, because they are already an existing power. Where will they go from here? For China, it is an open playground, right? So China is aggressively trying to cross that playground, capture that playground. Is that clear? Exactly. Ultimately, what is the take for India here? What is the take for India here? Since we have been neutral so far, however, we are more inclined towards USA, of course, because of our trade relations, etc. With China, we don't have that much of good base of relations. We've stayed neutral, but for India, what lies is if they are stabilized, both of them are stabilized, relations will improve in the Indo-Pacific region. Yes, the relations will improve of the Indo-Pacific region, and of course for India, China as well, because if tariffs are controlled, Indian market will be able to take a boom again. Yes, the market is slowing down. Can you see that? Inflation is rising, where PM is coming up to say that you should not take up gold, you should not buy gold. We can already see the impact of their economic decisions on our economy. We can already see the impact of the war, impact of their tariff game, impact of their instability. It is already visible. So naturally, this will bring some stability into Indian economy as well. Right? Political interests are anyway aligned, always aligned. Clear? Yeah. So that is about Trump's visit to Beijing, Trump's China visit, and a lot of things will still become more clear once the decisions are made, once it is announced. However, the visit that has already begun, and we've seen a lot of things already happening, how it is going to play huge relevance across the world, Okay. That was about it. Thank you so much for joining in, and see you in the next update. Till then, take care. Thank you. Bye-bye.
For more informative content, like, share and subscribe, and do not forget to press the bell icon to get the notifications.